One of the things that we learn in cognitive neuroscience is a very basic idea that the human physiology, and of course the brain being the commander, the headquarters of all of the human physiology, is conceived by consciousness. That is, all the mechanisms and the material and structural relationships conceived by consciousness, conceived by the mind, constructed by the mind, governed by the mind. And in fact, the body and the brain are a printout of whatever our consciousness state may be. What does this mean? It means that when we are feeling sadness, our mind will instruct our brain to now create the body of sadness, and the brain will release certain neurotransmitters and neuropeptides. These are protein-like substances that communicate from the brain to the body what the body is now to become. And the body's prime directive is simply to become whatever the mind is. The body is to become a product of what the mind is. So you have a sad thought, within seconds, your body has changed its entire chemistry to the body of sadness. And this is mediated by the brain. From consciousness, that's the psycho part, to the brain, that's the neuro part, to the anatomy, that's the physiology part, psycho-neurophysiology. And so our body basically is a printout of whatever we've been experiencing most recently. Sadness, body of sadness. Anger, body of angry chemicals. Fear, body of fear chemistry, and so on. And so then Vedic meditation has the effect of every other kind of experience. Although in Vedic meditation, we're experiencing bliss. So if you're experiencing anger and get an angry body mediated by the brain, or you're experiencing sadness and you end up with a sadness body mediated by the brain, or you're experiencing a fear and you get a fear body mediated by the brain, then what happens if you experience bliss? Well, when you experience bliss, your brain begins to produce bliss chemistry. There's an entire range of chemicals. Among these are some noted ones, which I'll mention here. Anandamide. Ananda is the Sanskrit word for bliss, but scientists have adopted this word to describe a particular cocktail of bliss chemicals. Serotonin, dopamine. These are all chemicals that are produced in response to you being awake inside and yet experiencing a supreme inner delight. When the brain generates that chemistry and communicates that with the body, then it takes the body from a fight or flight reactivity preparedness, which is stress preparedness, into what I refer to as the stay and play mechanism. The opposite of fight and flight chemistry is stay and play chemistry. What does stay and play mean? It means I don't have to fight the demands or flee from them. I can stay and interact with them because I sense fully liberated mental potential. I sense fully liberated adaptation energy. I can adapt to any change of expectation and interact with that change in an effective way. All of this in the body is simply a printout of what the brain is up to, which itself is simply a construct conceived by the consciousness state we're in. So Vedic meditation, like everything else that the mind experiences, generates brain chemistry, and that brain chemistry translates into physiological and anatomical reality within seconds. So when we're practicing Vedic meditation, we're bound to have the body of bliss being printed out twice every day. For 20 minutes, you're experiencing that deep, supreme inner contentedness. You come out of that, and every day your body is able more and more to sustain and ground itself in that baseline happiness mentality.